It's going to be a massive day. It is Derby Day.
Thanks, Richo. Good for a great day's racing. Good morning, everybody, and to you, Katelyn Mallyon.
Thanks,
This day last year, you were actually riding.
I was riding in the now called Empire Rose Stakes on Silent Sedition. So a lot's changed in a year, Hamish.
Race day stores for us throughout the day. We'll speak to all of the trainers, but have a look behind us. So much activity. A great reminder of how much work goes into getting the horses to the track and then ready for the races.
That's exactly right. We're at the back here, so close to the horses and with the stable hands who have been up since 3 o'clock this morning. So, you know, they're the best workers on the racetrack.
And the best horses from all around Australia and the world are here today. 14 Group 1s at Flemington throughout the year, 4 of them today.
Yeah, we're going to see Written By and I'm a Star in the Empire Rose, and she's a wonderful mare. And then Thinking Big, who's hasn't put a foot wrong and may find himself even in the Melbourne Cup. So we've got Hartnell there, the old warrior. So it's going to be a great day racing.
So we'll try and bring you all the horses as they arrive on track. But if you're not into the horses or the betting, you might be into the fashion, the music and the fun. And Eddie Bartholomew, you were there last year at the park. You're the captain of the park. Welcome to Flemington.
On race morning, the track will be given a rating. I'm going to explain what those ratings mean. A heavy track is waterlogged. It would be like any one of us running on heavy beach sand. You'll often see jockeys come back with mud all over them. It doesn't make for a pleasant day. Below a heavy track rating is a soft track. It is rain affected, but it isn't so waterlogged like a heavy track. Our next rating we rarely ever see. It's a fast track. It means there's been no irrigation, no rainfall, and the track ends up being like concrete. It's not good for the horses or the jockeys. A good track is the perfect track. It's every curator's goal on race morning. It's the equivalent of a human running on an athletics track. It's got a little bit of bounce.
Thanks, Jane. So dark and gloomy, thunder and lightning, wet Katelyn Mallyon, but still unbelievably exciting.
Oh, all the jockeys are going to be so excited. This won't dampen their moods. Riding in the Melbourne Cup is like no other.
You rode in 2016. Your partner, James McDonald, wakes up this morning on the favourite Yucatan. How did he sleep? What's he been doing this morning?
Well, I think he slept okay, but as soon as I was up, he was up. And, yeah, he's extremely excited about Yucatan's chances. And yeah, it's just very, very exciting.
What does this weather do for Yucatan's chances?
Well, he has performed on soft tracks before, so I can't see it really affecting him, and he's drawn barrier 23, so maybe the fence might be a little bit chopped up, hopefully.
So we've got 145 horses to keep an eye on here. The trainers will be coming past all morning. Looking forward to having a look at some races with you, but Eddie's in the park. Eddie, it's wet. I assume you've found a very dry spot.
I have.
Yeah, Bruce, absolutely. Chris Simon's just referred to visibility being lost. Katelyn, when it's wet like this, a jockey won't just wear a pair of goggles, might wear up to 4. Tell us what happens in particular with the fogging up and then the kickback.
So you wear more than one goggles so that you can keep placing them on top of each other. So when the mud comes back, if you happen to find yourself behind a runner, you can pull them down. So then you've got,
so you've got to take one hand off
left.
the reins, pull the goggles down, go back to the reins.
And that's dangerous in itself because the reins will be slippery and a lot of jockeys don't wear gloves. So that's also a problem. But the biggest problem is that the goggles fog up. So no matter how many goggles you're wearing.
So even if you're leading?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They fog up and then throw mud into that. It becomes really difficult.
And what about in terms of holding the reins? I mean, a lot of these reins are leather or plastic. They'll be wearing gloves. But regardless of what you're wearing and what material the reins are, you've lost all your strength in holding the reins. So if you're in a 3,200 metre race and you're on a strong horse that's pulling a little bit, do you lose control?
Oh, absolutely. It's a jockey's worst nightmare. As soon as you start slipping and changing your hold, then the horse can, think that it's go time and get stronger, and it just makes it so hard. And obviously we all know what happens when you clip heels. So it's not ideal conditions.
Katie, one question. We heard Chris Simon say a moment ago that everyone weighed in 1.5 kilos over. Can a jockey leave, after weighing out, leave something behind knowing that they'll still be at the weight? I mean, what are the rules?
No, you have to weigh out with everything you've got, and you need to ride in that race with everything you've got. And the stewards will be keeping a close eye on that. But as Chris touched on, because their gear is so wet, it's so hard for them to make the race when they come back and weigh out for their next race. So I'm feeling for those jockeys that have had to have lost the weight today.
And Katie and Bruce, what was reported after race 1 was that Damien Oliver has said even though he was leading, he had really poor visibility, didn't he?
Yeah, and that's with no mud in his face. Wait till the mud starts coming. It's so hard, and this is why I don't miss riding when it's like this.
I'm not allowed to share this, probably, am I? The text that we just got from James.
No, well, he said maybe let's run them tomorrow.
Call it off. Come back tomorrow. It's not going to happen, but he's hoping that it's drier than this. I mean, right now, Bruce, all of these strappers have taken the horses underneath. They're not bringing the horse out. It's just too wet and too dangerous. There's been thunder and lightning, so it is a cup that I've not seen before. Well, Americane's Cup was wet, but nothing like this, Bruce.
Yeah, not like this, though, was it? So
A normal day in the life of a jockey, or does Craig take things to a completely different level?
Well, he is one of a kind, as most of us know. But gee, I wish I had that sort of treatment. That was spectacular, having your own masseuse come to the house. But look, he's a true professional. He's very good at what he does, and he's one of the best track walkers that I've ever seen. And when I was riding and I was in a race, I was always trying to find the back of Craig Williams because he always found that good spot.
So we saw Damien Lane and Noel Callow then walking the track. You can walk the track in between any of the races, before the race, as early as you want or whenever you want? Whenever
you want, you can walk the track, as long as obviously the race isn't on. So, you know, most of the jockeys will go onto the inside of the track if the race is on. And yeah, no, it's a great insight. Not only just walking the track, trying to find the fast lane, but you know, it puts you in the zone. So
But what constitutes the fast lane?
Oh, well, if it's a bit firmer or in spots, or if the grass is a little bit shorter, maybe, like something.
Or where the tractors have been, because often you'll find a lane that everyone goes to. So that's the dry part of the track and the better going, the firmer going?
Yeah, that's correct. Obviously, you're going to go faster if you're on that firmer going. But it also puts you as in the zone. You work out where the markers are from how long the straight is, and also loosens up your body. And it's, that's why I used to do it.
Stretches the body, relaxes the mind. Great insight. We're celebrating women in sport today, being Ladies' Day, and Shane Gould is one of the very best.
playing so well, isn't it?
It's perfect, isn't it? It's had so much racing, but we're on board our girl Silk, Kevin Corsons, who trains at Balnarring. Stevie Baster jumps well, looks inside.
Jumps straight to the front. You can see there with her ears pricked, and Lob's in the perfect spot behind the speed. The speed looked genuine. It looked like it was a fastly run race. So, you know, Stephen Baster's thinking, I'm only probably 2 lengths away from the lead. So in the perfect spot, just pops off to the 3 wide line there, and you can see our girl Sykes still travelling really well and in that prime spot to win. And I'm sure Stephen Baster thought he was probably travelling into it like the winner. And here we go. Now the pressure's on. And we can't see a hell of a lot here, but we can see that our girl Sykes, she's got nothing around her, as she finished up running second, but ran a really, really top race.
So our girl Silk at this point is down the middle of the track, and your boyfriend is on the winner. Don't blush, baby. But Stephen, we know at this point is going to be smiling, that's for sure and certain. But basically you couldn't see much because he just had his head down, pushing as hard as he could, just trying to get everything out of the horse.
That's exactly right. And they just didn't seem to make up a hell of a lot of ground. I thought it was a genuine enough run race, but yeah, I was pretty happy to see him not catch James, that's for sure.
You should have heard it, Bruce. She was just sitting here going, go J-Mac, go J-Mac. So McDonald and Mallyon get another winner. Let's get to Eddie. Mister is trained by the Ellett and Zara combination, and the truth behind it all is the hard worker is Simon Zara. Welcome to you.
Good to be here.
Third favourite, I think, now, your filly. We'll get to her in just a moment, but how is she as a jockey? Did she listen to what you say when you put her on?
She's a Mallyon. They don't listen.
I don't know about that.
And if you didn't go well, how was he? Did he just handle a bad ride, Katelyn?
I think probably my biggest sprays come from Simon.
Really?
Yeah.
What did he say at the time?
Look, I can't remember. I was already
And probably can't repeat it on national television.
Yeah, exactly. But I know it was here at Flemington.
Your filly was a maiden until Saturday. She was outstanding.
Yeah, look, she was. We targeted the Ethereal and obviously that race, and her 2 runs were fantastic, and so yeah, that was our goals, and she's come through that well that we have a go at the Oaks.
And she's tucked up and looks fitter, you say, now than she did on Saturday?
Well, Matthew and I both had the opinion Monday morning she looked better than Saturday, and you'll see in the yard her coat's glowing, and she's got dabbles, and she's nice and relaxed. Sometimes they come here after a 5-day break or a week back up, and they can get a bit pumped up, but she's taken it all in her stride.
And Damien Lane knows her well, and riding her here today. So what's the plan from that barrier?
Have you ever told Damien what to do in her horse? Look, she'll get the same run as she hopefully did the other day, put her to sleep. And look, I think they run the first half quiet and not a lot of speed. She's going to be right in it. If it's a true staying test, she might be a little bit vulnerable.
You're the more relaxed of the trainers. What's Maddie doing at the moment?
I'm not sure if I'm relaxed. Sometimes I'm bit fiery, but I think Matthew's behind the tree having a cigarette at the moment.
And now you've got a special thing at home at the Aladdin Zara stables. What's that?
It's a goat, and it's not just a goat. We've got a few of them in the stable, but...
What's the goat's name?
The goat's name's Salt. So it's an old wives' tale that the goat takes viruses away. So we had one for 18 years, and then we missed her that much. We went and got another one.
Hey, yeah, Bruce, I don't know whether the trainer's ever won with dreadlocks, but what I do know is I lost my highlighter earlier. Bruce is laughing and he says good luck.
Thank you.
I tell you what, hey, Haim, you wouldn't have done that to Matty. He would have punched you.
Matty's behind a tree smoking. I said, I reckon if Matty didn't smoke, I reckon their horses run about a length better. They've all got emphysema. He's searching for his first of the Carnival. He'd hate the fact that DK Weir's just trained another winner. Team Hayes-Dabinick. Ben Hayes is now in charge. Tommy Dabinick second in charge. What is it that you do these days, Dave?
You can run with that. I'll blame them. That's probably what's going on this week.
Now, you've got 6 running today. Well, you did have. Unlucky in the first. How often have you seen a horse kick a wrought iron gate and get scratched at the barrier?
It happens from time to time. It's just a bad fluck. We thought he was a great chance, and he kicked it and put his shoe through his foot. He's okay, but there was a bit of blood, and so they made a decision to scratch him.
Now we've come to the hottest race of the day. We've got Redkirk Warrior racing in the VRC Sprint Classic. What's his chances today? He's a little bit of a quirky horse, and how's he been this week?
Look, he's been really good. His first trial, he was a bit fat.
Here's a Newmarket, Dave.
And this was a happy day. I think he won that first up, which was a great effort, and today he's first up. He's got to beat Red Zell, but he has done that before. And on his day, he's the best sprinter in Australia, especially up the straight.
And he's obviously a routine horse, so you try and keep him at Lindsay Park as much as you possibly can?
Yeah, we bring him in the last minute. He loves the uphill gallop there and getting out in the day paddock, and he just chills out, and he brings his A form all the time.
Loves the track, loves the distance. Has he returned well from the UK?
Yeah, I think he has. We thought he was going well in the UK, and he bombed out, so he just lost a little bit of confidence. If the stable had come out and won 2 or 3 races, I'd be really tipping him hard.
Okay. Jama, your best today?
By far. I think he's a terrific chance.
Straight out?
I would.
I know you would. You're the most bullish punter in the world. In fact, if it was a competition between you and Gay...
I am.
He says Jama is happy with Redkirk Macca. Good luck finding your first at the Carnival.
Shh, stop saying that.